Welcome. Oh, this is my joint. Welcome to another virtual group of Road to Recovery with your host, Recovery Lord, where we talk about recovery, staying focused. We do virtual groups. I started the new program where I'm doing every other day and things like that so that Recovery Lord can get a chance to recover himself. So, what do I want to talk about today? Well, today, before I mention, make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe and share this. Make sure you have your pen. Make sure you have your paper. Take notes. Shout out to Cousin Cliff. Shout out to my nephew Osiris. Shout out to my sister Charisma. Shout out to my brother Zachary. Shout out to the people who are taking it serious. And shout out to my cousin Michelle giving me the shout out. Appreciate that. Much respect. Today I want to talk about 10 ways to stay motivated during the recovery process. These are 10 ways. And one thing I want everyone out there to understand is more than one way to skin a cat. It's more than one way to recover. It's more options. It's more than 10 ways to stay motivated. Some of your homework is to tell me in the comments a way that you stay motivated outside of these 10 that I'm going to provide today. So I'm going to go ahead and knock out the first way to stay motivated is to have a connection with your higher power, whether that be Jesus Christ at the Korean church, whether that's Jesus Christ, whether that's Muhammad, a higher power, a higher being, a higher cause, something to give you hope and something to give you faith. And if you're one of these new school people, then yes, you could say your higher self and beaming from somewhere else, and I get all of that. But one statement or one example I gave one time before is when somebody is sick and they're in the hospital, people don't bring the emerald tablets to the hospital room. I have seen people hold hands and pray, though. So that I know for a fact that is something that they do. So let there be light. I didn't turn the light on, so first couple of minutes we in the dark. But 10 ways to stay motivated during the recovery process. First one is being connected to your higher power and believing in yourself. Recovering from an illness or injury can feel like a daunting marathon with highs, lows, and everything in between. Maintaining motivation throughout the recovery process is crucial for achieving long-term success and regaining your full potential. Whether you're recovering from a physical injury, illness, or mental health challenges, staying motivated can make all the difference. So the second point that they want to make is setting realistic goals. Set realistic goals. Don't be out here waiting for a probation officer to give you goals. Don't wait for someone outside of you to give you goals for your life, because people will be quick to tell you, oh, they're not in the mood for that. And the point I made in group today is the person will be quick to match your petty, but will take their time matching your ambition, your drive, your motivation. Is not a lot of people are going to match your motivation. So one of the most effective ways to maintain motivation is by setting realistic and achievable goals. Break down your recovery process into smaller, manageable tasks that you can focus on each day. These goals serve as stepping stones, helping you measure your progress and celebrate small victories along the way. So your goals should be stepping stones, that are ordering your steps to the best part of your life. Small goals, achievable things that are in your capability. You can't base your goals off of something you seen somebody else do. Because people love to brag and make it seem like they've done things that, to be honest, they may have not done. Like they'll tell you in group, yeah, the only way you could detox is by going cold turkey because, that's what I did. That's what my father did. That's what my grandfather did. They won't have any receipts showing that this is how they all recovered. This is just word of mouth. And sometimes when people hear that, they think the only way they can detox is going cold turkey too, without using maintenance. So that's why you have to set goals though. Because when you don't show up for yourself, other people are going to assume the, what do they call that? Power of attorney or whatever. Where they're going to act like because you are incapable of making a decision, well, they just going to make it for you. So the more you are at being ahead of this and not just responding to it, the better outcome and the better input, the better chance you have input to put what you think would work best for you. Start by assessing your capabilities and your limitations. So that's an inventory, and that's a full, honest, unbiased inventory. A lot of times when we do inventories, we only look at one side. So you hear people do an inventory of how bad they are. They do an inventory of all their screw ups, of all the places that they lost, the car that they messed up and all that. No. Do an inventory and assess your capabilities and your limitations. Please also don't just get caught up and comfortable with acknowledging your limitations, because nothing upsets people who trying to help you more. Nothing upsets them more than to constantly hear a person constantly talk about and describe their limitations without ever acknowledging any form of capabilities. And then create a personalized goal plan that aligns with your recovery needs. Y'all hear me say a lot of times people only know you to the depth they know themselves. And I believe I mentioned this and said this in the previous group, that if a person is drinking every day and using every day, then that's the version of themselves that they know the most. The one that's under the influence or intoxicated. So one of your goals could be, you know what? I'm not going to drink for a day or two. I'm going to see how that affects my body. I'm going to see how that affects my sleep. I'm going to try to make plans in this space and see if they make sense. Give yourself a fighting chance. Doing this will reinforce your motivation and boost your confidence in your ability to overcome setbacks and continue moving forward. You want to see yourself and know that you're getting better, because people feeling like they're not getting better. That's the number one reason why people relapse. That's the number one reason why people give up. And you don't want to give up right before your blessing happens. Number 3, building a support network. No one should have to go through recovery alone. Surround yourself with a strong support network of friends, family, and professionals who encourage and inspire you throughout your recovery process. Share your goals and progress with them, and lean on them for guidance and motivation when you need it most. Key word: surround yourself and make your recovery support system be people that motivate and inspire you. Because if you allow your addiction to pick people that's going to be in your circle, you're going to pick people that pluck your nerves. And a lot of times the reason people pick people that's going to pluck their nerves is because that makes them quicker to go pick up, to go to the bar. That makes that beer looks more enticing for some people once their nerves have been plucked. So surround yourself with people that inspire you, not people who are just talking about what can't be done, what's wrong with the world, how people are not the same. Because at this point in time, in 2026, that is Captain Obvious. You talking about what's wrong with people and what people need to do and who's not doing this and who's not, that's obvious. The more intricate and the more detailed thing is, how are we going to survive all of this? How are we going to overcome despite this being our predicament? Connect with others who have experienced similar recovery journeys. It can be a particularly beneficial move. Join support groups, online forums where people share stories and offer encouragement. These connections can provide valuable insight, reassurance, and motivation to help keep you pushing forward. Don't hesitate to speak to a professional when needed. Therapists, counselors, and healthcare providers can offer expert advice and support tailored to your specific recovery needs, ensuring you're never alone on your path to healing. A lot of our people talk crap about therapists, about counselors, and in doing that, you don't know how beneficial it is until you give it a shot. Because you saying, I don't want to listen to none of them, but then, I'm a counselor. And I'm a pretty good one, too. So imagine if people cut me off just by saying, oh, that person's a counselor, so they don't even know, and I'm not, and I'm just rejecting. You cutting yourself off from a potential vector or avenue of healing, of potential recovery, and just thinking and like that and operating like that. Celebrate small wins. It's another tip. Acknowledging and celebrating small victories is an essential part of maintaining motivation during recovery. Each time you achieve a milestone, no matter how small, take the time to recognize your progress and give yourself credit for your hard work. Create a journal, document your progress and achievements, write down your successes, reinforces positive thinking, and helps you visualize your growth over time. Look back at your journal when you feel discouraged to remind yourself of how far you've come and reignite your motivation. Share your accomplishments with your support network. So that's why I say, when you're doing these groups and they mean something to you and you feel like you get something out of it, share some of that stuff. Instead of just sharing Offset getting shot in the ass by little TJ and you know the stuff we share. The stuff we don't get paid for sharing. But we wake up, look on our phone, and it's called the World Wide Web. And that's the web we tangled up in. We tangled in that web. Unless you a spider. And if you a spider, then you Mark Zuckerberg. So that web is how you get prey. But if not, get up. Look at the iPhone turning you into iRobot. Yeah, Offset, he got shot, and now it's because he was gambling and he owed him $1 million. So I think that's intricate. Why are you going that intricate in bullshit? But when it's time to save your life, you don't have a damn clue. We talking about saving your life. I got 15 minutes. Well, I'm going over that mark, I see. But it should be okay. But 15, 20 minutes to tell you something you never heard before. Mind you, you've been out here in the world, living in the world. So me telling you something you never heard before is mathematically impossible. Give yourself a chance. Stop being so distracted. Celebrate small wins, acknowledging and celebrating small victories. Oh no, I already said that once. So you celebrate small wins, And the reason you want to celebrate small wins, why? Because a lot of times we like to celebrate when we get our license back, when we get a new car, when we get our car fixed, when we get a new place, when we get our own place. And rightfully so, when we graduate. Those are things you should celebrate, absolutely. But the reality is, big wins don't happen every day. So if you're waiting to celebrate big wins, you might be waiting a minute to celebrate a big win. That's why you learn how to get comfortable with celebrating smaller victories that lead up to the big ones. The next point, the next pro tip. These are pro tips because, see, a person is not just trying to stop using. A lot of my clients tell me I can stop like nothing, like the back of my hand is nothing. My problem is keeping it down, is leaving it alone for extended amount of time till it's beneficial to my health, it's beneficial to my finances. So you want long-term recovery. So you want long-term recovery, we should be open to suggestions. Finding inspiration in others. Drawing inspiration from others who have successfully navigated similar recovery journeys can be a powerful motivator. Read books. Watch documentaries. Follow social media accounts of individuals who have overcome setbacks and achieved remarkable recoveries. And here in Baltimore, Maryland, it's everywhere. A lot of churches offer recovery support groups, Alcoholics Anonymous meetings, Narcotics Anonymous meetings, Just for Today journals and books, things on YouTube, things on social media. It's social media pages that you can be a part of that may help support your recovery. One thing you should not be doing in recovery is watching Scarface, is watching BMF, where a Snowfall. I don't care how, and people keep telling me I still never watched that crap. And I probably refuse to because I lived that. The thing is this, I lived that era. So in living that era, I'm not entertained by it. You ever notice that a lot of people who are entertained by the streets are people who are not from the streets and they don't know how bad it could be? Do you know that most people from the streets want to live out Harford County and see foxes and rabbits and butterflies, monarch butterflies and stuff? They don't want to see Dracos and Extendos and all that. People who have not really either seen certain things in the street or who are not from that usually glorify that because they think that's what gives them credit to assume an identity that's lacking. Unfortunately, some people think they not a real in until they get locked up. But you're not even a real brother. You're not even a real son. Some of us not even real fathers. But we skip all that real and want to go to being a real _N. Can't make this up. And this is why some people don't take us seriously. Because we don't take ourselves. We got to start celebrating these small wins, finding inspiration in others. Seek out mentors or role models who can offer guidance and support. Their firsthand experience and knowledge can provide valuable advice and motivation to help you stay focused and commit to your recovery goals. The next tip is practice self-compassion. This is a big one. This should have been number one. Recovery is a personal and unique process. And it's essential to practice self-compassion throughout the journey. Be kind to yourself and recognize that setbacks and challenges are a natural part of recovery. Treat yourself with the same care and understanding you would offer a friend in a similar situation. Instead of focusing on perceived failures or shortcomings, acknowledge your efforts and your progress. Celebrate your resilience and determination, and remind yourself that each step forward, no matter how small, brings you closer to your recovery goals. Cultivate a positive mindset by practicing gratitude and mindfulness. Reflect on the things you're grateful for. The reason you got to do that, because they say God and the devil don't occupy the same space. So if your heart is filled with gratitude, love, self-compassion, then it's hard for it to also be filled with anger, guilt, frustration, disappointment. And not to mention, when you do these pity parties, you the person on trial, you're the defendant, but you're also the judge. You're Eddie Murphy in this scenario because you playing all these parts. You the judge, jury, executioner. You playing all the parts in a pity party. This self-compassion is a big component. And it starts with how you talk to yourself. They call that self-talk. It's one thing if people are disrespecting you and talking to you all crazy. It's another thing if that's how you talk to yourself. The next pro tip is creating a positive environment. Your surroundings can significantly impact your motivation and outlook during recovery. Create a positive and supportive environment that promotes healing and encourages you to stay focused on your goals. Organize your living space to prioritize comfort and accessibility. So we talked about insides matching outsides. Where you live, where you sleep should be clean. You should be sleeping on clean sheets. Your sheets shouldn't look like that wrap that they put in on Jesus that they was talking about this past Sunday when he melted through it and he passed through it, and it was a rock star looking like Charles Manson or something went through that. That's not, your pillowcase should look like the shroud of Bethlehem or whatever they call it. Your room shouldn't have a certain odors, because the same way they have aromatherapy, where lavender and certain aromas can calm you and soothe you. If we know that to be true, then we also know smelling feet and underarms and smelling like a half of a seafood salad sub, everything no hots. Well, you know what? The hots on every damn thing. So hots on them too, that's going to put you in a bad mood. Surround yourself with positive influences, including supportive friends, family, and media. You cannot watch negative shit all day and be a positive person, because you are what you eat. You are also what you look at, what you listen to. Then when you listen to foolishness, that's when you are listening to music. That shit is making you sick. And we're talking about, and that's what I was going with that Dr. Sebi Herbal Bible. You could do all the herbs in the world that you want. You got to change certain frequencies and things that you're around too. Because if you don't, that's detrimental. That is detrimental to you as a person. The next tip is establish a routine. Consistency and structure can play a crucial role in maintaining motivation during recovery. Establish a daily routine that incorporates your recovery goals and self-care activities, providing a sense of stability and purpose. The reason people do a routine, because your routine lets you know when you fall off track. That's one of the key things a routine does. It helps you realize when you are falling off track. And to get back on track, a lot of people rely on a routine. Having a routine helps you stay organized and focused, making it easier to stick to your recovery plan. Include activities that promote healing, relaxation, and personal growth, ensuring a well-rounded and balanced approach to recovery. Regularly evaluate your routine and adjust it as needed to accommodate your progress and changing needs. Flexibility is essential, but maintaining a sense of structure. That's what routine also is, a sense of structure. Something that is missing in a lot of people's lives. They do what they want all day, every day, until they get to a point of a spiritual awakening where they realize they not doing everything they want to do. They doing what their addiction want them to do every damn day, all day. Establish a routine. You're right, I got two more. Track progress and make adjustments to your strategies. Monitoring your progress and adjusting your recovery strategies as needed is essential for sustaining motivation. Regularly assess your achievements and challenges, identifying areas where you may need to change your approach. And the next, stay connected to your why. Understanding and staying connected to your why, the underlying reason and motivation for your recovery, can be a powerful motivator. You're doing this so you can live as long as you can. That's not wrong. That's smart. Because once you're a certain age, you can't peacefully enjoy drugs anymore. Because it's always a voice in the back of your head. If I keep smoking this shit, I'm going to have a stroke. It's always a voice in the back of your head. All these drinks, I might need dialysis one day. That's your higher self. Acknowledge that. Because when you don't, the more you ignore it, the less it talks. Because nobody's listening any goddamn way. Stay connected to your why. And yes, everybody's going to say, you got to want it for yourself. You got to want it for yourself. And that is true. If you are not strong enough to want it for yourself, it is not wrong if you want this for your kids. If you is a fucked up mother, be a better grandmother. It's a lot of forgiveness and healing in that. If you's a fucked up father, be a better grandfather. It is forgiveness, and healing in that. Do that. Do it for your grandkids. Do it for the life that you don't even expect to be able to live. Because, see, a lot of people, oh, I want this, I want that. I want to have this, I want to have that. They feel like it doesn't come or it's not coming. So then they start saying stuff like, yeah, I don't care. Don't nobody love me anyway. I don't care what happens to me. Then guess what happens? That house you've been waiting on finally comes through. You don't want the house that you've been waiting on to finally come through, but now your health is so fucked up that you're going to be only signing probably one lease. This was today's group. Hopefully you took notes. Leave me a message on a way that you stay motivated during your recovery process. Share with the group and share with me what has helped you. Because what I do like to do is the feedback I get, I like to amplify it and repeat it. So that that might be a tip that helps somebody else. You know what I like to do? I like to listen to my favorite songs, my favorite artists. Those are antidepressants. You think antidepressants are only the things that you could get from a store and from a prescription? You better start using the world around you in a better way. You know, it's that time. I see the mark. I see 30 minutes. So God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. We pray for the addict who picked up today for the first time, not realizing what they getting themselves into. Because when people tell you about a drug, don't they only tell you all the stuff they think they want, that you want to hear? Oh, you're going to have sex for hours. Oh, you're going to be, oh man, you're going to be it's going to be such a blast. Don't realize the hole they getting themselves into, the addict who picked up for the first time. We pray for the addict who put down for the last time today. God bless you. How about that? You finally put that down. Commend that. I commend that. That strength. That is going to inspire you. You're probably a walking library by now with all the stuff you've seen and been through. And hopefully you can share that knowledge. And we pray for all other people in between. God bless you. Stay strong. Stay motivated. And even if you're not strong enough to help somebody else, be strong enough to not always be the first person to ask for help. If you can, try to figure out things on your own. It makes you feel powerful when you do. Also acknowledge when how you doing is not working and you can reach out. But when you reach out, at least now you got, hey, I tried X, Y, and Z and that didn't work. That motivates a person to help you even more. When you tell them what you tried but were unsuccessful with, because that helps rule things out. And with that, God bless you. Stay motivated. Stay prayed up. Get some oil from the bishop if you need it. You know, read the Bible, meditate, pray, have hope that you can get better, that you will get better, that you are going to get better. Command that. Speak that into existence until the next episode.